Is everyone else ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
I'm showing stream cat. I'm showing stream Samus.
In that case, last time in game, the party, the group, had returned back from combat. You guys did the tavern, and Tate went to the tavern last game, right? With the dwarves?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
In that case, then, you guys returned home from the combat, had given the book to Octaminos, where he had given you information. That is more or less part of it. The main gist of the session was Avina went to a bar, or tavern, and proceeded to have some sort of fun with some dwarves, and then the following day went to her quote-unquote apothecary, and talked to the guy that she might have gotten him more buyers. Along with that, then, the Samael, Arim, and Tucson had gone shopping, and had talked about getting the whole deal with the forge inside of the guild hall. And in result, you got Bob and Garnett recruited into your guild as well. Along with all of that, you also have 5 poison powder and 5 poison liquid created from that violet fungus. And Tate had acquired herself a quarterstaff. The quarterstaff is more or less her stand-in for the odd special wood crafted into a
Mallet.
warhammer thing. Do you want to do it better, Justice Tate, or just a war mole?
I call it a war mallet.
Alright. And along with all of that, with all the shopping and so forth, with everyone having wrapped up their shopping and more than likely heading back to the guild hall to see if there's any kind of quest for them to do, Lamb was outside the city, and his character used his Rod of Wonder. And after having 2 different effects go off, the final effect was summoning an Elder Water Elemental.
And a dire bat.
Oh yeah, and the dire bat. Give me one quick second to bring up anything about a dire bat and a elder water elemental, because fuck me.
I know, right? We're totally prepared for this week.
I would, but you wouldn't let me anymore.
No. And no, you never have.
It could have been.
Okay, I'm lost, but okay.
Tate making shit up. That's all you gotta know.
Ah, okay.
No, me and Marcus having tsundere times.
Never happened.
That's what you think.
No,
We were
I've
all
got
there.
a relatively decent memory.
We were all there.
I wasn't.
Okay, proof now,
I put
Marcus.
the 5th.
Don't you join in, Jared.
I plead the 5th. Goddamn Jared.
The 5th what?
The 5th of Jack.
It's weird having a green screen. It's really fucking weird. See?
All right.
That's
For
spinning hair.
everyone else, the I don't. we won't worry about it. I guess you're pretty well into the city. You probably wouldn't see anything with a water elemental or bat. If you care. No, the city... I mean, if you were, honestly, if your character was going to go outside, you would see him. Otherwise, I mean, it's a pretty tall fucking city wall, so you don't see shit. Lamb, what do you do as a water elemental stands before you and back behind him, a massive bat is flying towards you guys?
I try not to shit my pants. I don't know. I'm probably backing the fuck up so I don't die.
He's like, retreat! Retreat! Yeah, he's an hour out of town, so... I don't think any of us would see it.
Right. But, so your character does nothing there, Lamb?
I'm backing up a bit so I don't just, like, insta-die from it turning around.
Alright. In that case, the water elemental stands before you and, in as much as you can assume, is looking at you because it is a massive creature made of pure water.
It's a giant swirling vortex of water.
Right. The vortex of water takes a relatively humanoid shape. It's still huge, but enough so for you to kind of grasp where it's looking. And then in Aquan, it says one word: speak.
Excuse me?
You say excuse me?
Yeah.
But in Aquan or in common or in unknowingly Aquan?
Aquan, most likely.
Alright, as you say excuse me in a language that you didn't even know you really quite understood, before you can even take in the what did I just say moment, you see it merely look behind itself, but not actually look behind itself, more just invert its entire existence. So instead of looking towards you, it's looking towards the bat. The bat approaches, and just as it's pretty much on top of you guys, the water elemental forces itself into the bat's mouth, completely going into the bat.
Oh, that's not horrifying.
After a brief minute...
Is there crickets going on in the background, Jared?
Yep.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, we can hear him, Tate.
That's amazing.
After a brief minute, do you do anything with this bat that now falls to the ground?
No.
And is more or less just squirming?
No.
Oh, alright, as you stand
I'm not
there...
going to go inspect the bat, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. The bat eventually stands up, and water pools out from around the bat and completely engulfs it.
It's about what I was expecting.
And then again, in Aquan, it says... what?
What?
It asks you what?
Wait, why does it ask me what? I didn't say about what I was expecting in character.
Oh, in character, you responded with what back?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what?
I'm very much just kind of lost right now.
The bat, surrounded by water, is more than likely, based on what you can assume, is dead, and the Aquan is controlling its body,
Oh, I'm aware
both
of that.
inside and outside. The bat looks up into the sky, looks back down at you, and goes, in Aquan, I was summoned. You're the only one here. What?
We're in the material plane. I'm guessing this isn't where you're from. And you're trying to get back. Or rather, you would like to get back.
It takes a minute looking around. Okay. It takes a minute looking around, and then it goes, are there other elementals here?
None that I've run into.
What year is it?
In player, I don't know what year it is. So I can't really respond to that question.
It is 4 years past the Great War.
It is year 4. I don't know. Like, I
412.
actually don't know how to respond to that.
Tell me, mortal. Where is your last great fortress?
Define fortress. If you mean a city, then there's one about an hour that way that I can take you to. Other than that, I haven't really been into any bigger cities, and I can't really name any fortresses nearby. Okay. I'll start leading it back to the city.
Alright. You can hear the footsteps behind you as it's just walking behind you. But considering it's huge and you are medium, it basically just waits for you to get ahead and takes one step and watches.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a little bit more of a ways forward, I mean, you weren't too far away from the city. It was still technically visible, but you see that it takes notice of the city.
I just realized if anybody makes a bad joke, I can just...
What?
What?
If anybody makes a bad joke, I can cricket.
No. I thought you said bat joke for a minute, and it's like, but the bat's already dead.
Well,
Yeah,
these
I
be
did
bats.
as well. And it's not like you can make them cricket on demand, right? So it'd be very awkward if someone made a bad joke and then you like try to make the crickets make their sound and they did nothing. Then just be
Also,
awkward.
that would
They
just
just
mean
kind of
that.
do it all
yeah.
night.
Also, it would just mean that Tate would need to tell a joke and then just leave his mic open for a bit.
That's
Yeah,
about to say
true.
that.
This is true.
And then-
You
Okay,
hear
we're done
above
words.
you, Lamb. Perthros hears above him. It's changed.
Has it?
You say, has it, looking up to him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I haven't been here for quite some time. Last
fact,
time
it
I
doesn't
was
have-
here, I helped Octmenos and Metweo with the death and resurrection of all that lived in the sea.
I recognize one of those names, and he's still here. Or Octmenos, I mean.
The bat stops moving.
I'm assuming you mean longer than it usually would to wait for me to keep walking.
Yeah, as you keep walking, the almost rhythmic footsteps have not continued.
Have they started, like, feeling tremors in the city from this thing walking?
Nope.
No? Okay. So I'll either wait for it to address me. I'll just stop and see if it's waiting to address me or if it's gonna keep following me.
It's waiting to see if you turn around or not.
I mean, I am.
Oh, okay. As you continue walking forward a little bit, taking notice of the fact that he is not going forward, you turn around and you see it lean down, the bat open its mouth, and then a medium-sized water elemental comes out of its mouth.
Huh, you can do that? That's amazing. Do you just, like, compress your form, or is this a different elemental?
Lead me to Octminos.
Right. And then you just keep going, I suppose.
Lamb, you don't have any luck here. First you had to deal with Tate, then a lion, and now a fucking water elemental wants to go into the city.
I mean, I was half expecting this to happen to go into the city, because either way, from our experience with the Lion Man, I knew Octminos was the only one who could send him back to his realm. But yeah. Like, so, I'm going to... I assume the guards start freaking out once we approach the gate.
As you approach the gate, Lamb, your back starts to feel wet.
Uh-oh.
Do you do anything?
I mean, I'm gonna check behind me to see if, Elemental's still there, if he's soaking himself into my clothing.
As you turn around, lo and behold it, you called it. It instantly splashes itself into you.
Well, that's one way to keep everyone from freaking out. Glad to see you're more socially aware than half of the other people I work with.
And then you feel a slight sting everywhere. And you are no longer wet.
Ow. Oh, this is good. So, I'll keep going into the city to not piss it off and have it explode me from within.
Alright. So you continue on into the city?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you continue on into the city, skipping over real quickly to Tate. Tate, after you were done with your apothecary, what were you going to do? After you're done with buying the quarterstaff, getting your medical gel dude, all that.
Probably gonna head back into the guild hall. I wouldn't think of anything else I can get. Actually, no. Is there any mage area or any? Would I have to look for that? See if I can find somebody who might be able to do some enchanting.
Enchanting is pretty much going to be like Octminos or whatnot. Again, low magic world. You just happen to come across the magic. But if you go to cities, there's like almost nothing.
Pretty much.
I'll have to.
Pretty
see
much
if I can talk off
pretty
my
much
friend.
it's me. It's pretty much me, Lamb, and Augmentos, and his crew.
People
Yes.
touched by the gods, basically.
Right. There are people with magic, or at least low-level magic, in the city or in different areas, but not many. Most that are mages go to one specific place in the world. Mostly because magic died, and that place is trying to find anyone with magic to bring it back.
So his name
It's
is
just by
Augmentos.
happenstance these two did not get taken yet.
Augmentos and Metweo do.
Well, Metwhale doesn't quite have magic, but sure.
No, I'm just saying, we have Augmentos.
Yeah, Oxmenos
Set
has
food
magic,
names.
but no one fucks with them, so...
Yeah.
It's their food names.
No one we know of fucks with them, Marcus.
Well, yeah, that's true. No one that I would give you any information on.
Because they're dead.
Well, they might be alive.
Or getting there.
Well, given the right circumstances, I'm sure they fuck with each other.
Yeah. Again, they are neutral. They are not good guys. I mean, Perthros didn't blink an eye, but like the water elemental said, in some time in the past, the water elemental helped those guys kill everything and then bring it back. That wasn't a figure of speech, by the way.
I'm just figuring the less I question it, the more likely I'm going to survive.
Fair enough.
I was like, I just don't want to die. I just don't want to die.
So Tate,
There we go.
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna head back to the main guild house, see if I can get an audience with Augmentos.
Okay. How
Have a
about-
weapon enchanted type?
how about
They're gonna
Samael?
do-
Yep.
Samael, Tucson, and Arim. What are those three gonna do?
I guess, if they don't have any other plans, I guess we go around seeing if any other businesses would like to join our guild.
I mean, in terms of joining the guild, you guys are only sticking in this one district. There's still the elves, the church,
doesn't know if she can ask
temple
people to join.
areas, the fishing docks, the mines,
Yeah,
other
that's
cities.
That's what I was thinking, was like go around and like just put flyers in each district.
Just a flyer.
A few flyers. I mean like 20, so. And I've handed out like 6, so.
Yeah, you might want to make more flyers.
I will. eventually.
Look, it's hard to find ye olde Xerox.
Yeah.
Like I hand wrote each of these.
Also, I don't know if you'd want to just go around and hand it out willy-nilly right now. Maybe down the road, but right now it's been a pretty good selling point for you.
Yeah, true.
Not to tell you how to cheat me, but, you know.
Yeah, we're using it as a bargaining chip right now, whereas if we
Yeah,
put
true.
something like that out, it's like, oh, you're looking for people, so I can just ask and I'm probably in.
Ah, okay. I got you. It's
Or-
just a thought.
We can make it be a trap. They come and ask, and then we immediately ask, what services do you provide, because we want them. And then immediately take their services, and then say, now you can join us.
What if
That's
we just
true.
bought the city's merchants, so they all work for us?
That's kind of what we're doing.
That's kind of what
Tate.
you've been doing, Tate.
That's what me and Kelp.
Anyway,
we're
what-
doing.
What do the three of you do, though? Samael's thinking about going around and handing out flyers. What about Tucson and Arim? Again, it's barely midday. You guys can still see if there's a quest, or maybe there's a rumor of some sort of ruins with a magical item, or whatever.
You know, the rumor about the magical item and some sort of ruin sounds fun. Let's go look for that, Tucson.
Yeah,
I was
magic
just-
stuff.
Maybe
I was
it's on our
just-
message board back at the guild. Let's go there and check.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Good to
I want
me.
to see this magical ruin.
Same with me.
That wasn't real.
Well, too bad, Marcus, you just made it real.
Yep, it's real now.
Okay. So you guys are gonna go to the main guild hall then? What? Okay. And then the last one to figure out here is gonna be Zephyr. Jared, what was he doing? He was reading his book, right?
Actually, I think when we left off, I was on my way to check out the parts of town that I haven't really seen yet, like the wealthy part of town.
So he's going over here to these blue buildings?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, Avina, you enter into the
Yes.
guild hall.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Not everyone is in there, it's just you.
I know. Just saying hi to everybody around.
Alright,
The
you
only
enter
person
in.
around
You enter
Clara.
in, Avina goes, "Oh, hi, everybody." Clara looks around because there's no one else but you two in there, and she
I
goes,
thought there was a little
"Well,
tavern
hi to
there.
you too."
Okay, well that works. Well, hi, Clara. I thought there would be more people here. I guess they're all out adventuring.
Yes.
Yes.
Just so she doesn't have to tell you you're a moron.
Is
Because this is the
Meadows
only
available?
one. Because this is the only one of Marcus's characters that probably won't.
Trying to say the rest of them are all assholes, that would be blunt.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say all the other characters are basically you, Marcus.
Yeah, basically. Well, Octominos, let me find out. She goes into her back room, comes out of said back room, and goes, "He will be down in a minute."
Wait, down? You mean not up?
Did you need to see him in private?
Oh no, I just had a question to ask him real quick. I'm not sure. Since he's the only person, well, second person I've known to be able to do magic. Third person I know.
Oh, I might actually be able to answer that for you. What did you need to know?
I was wondering, I'm ordering, we ran across this, I would assume would be a cockatrice, but it was a duck. Now, I'm no stranger to creatures like that. They eat metal. So I'm looking at getting a wooden weapon of destruction. And I'm ordering this Great Maul. I was wondering if there's anything I could get for making it not so brittle.
Well, there's certainly the potential with magic. As far as a cockatrice duck, I don't know of any creature as such existing. She pulls out a book and kind of flips through it. There was a tale of a cockatrice duck within one of the storybooks, but it doesn't eat metal. Really, there's not many creatures that eat metal.
True.
I mean,
There's
there
also
are
the rust monster in the Colosseum.
Well, the Colosseum is consistently, like every year, we put new stuff in it.
True, but I kind of want to be prepared just in case anything like that happens out on our adventure. So we also ran across skeletons, which is why I'm making it a mallet, because my arrows weren't doing anything to those things.
Ah, I see. Well,
Clara seems to be the only one who's actually listening to Abby, so Abby's gonna talk her ear off.
yeah, Clara is the DM who's controlling her, shaking his head every single time he has to talk. Well, You could always try to go to the Mage's Tower out west if you need some sort of elaborate magic to be done. I know Octminos knows most, if not all, of what they know, but knowing Octminos, he's probably not going to just do anything for you.
True. But I was hoping to ask a favor to see if I can, like, repay it. Like, maybe that he has a task for me to do or anything.
And as you say that, the next 3 of your party members enter the door.
Here, like, Abby turns around. Oh, hi, guys!
Well, hello, Avina. We heard rumor of a magical ruin, and we was hoping that we could find more information.
Well, Clara might know. She seems to know a lot. I actually really like her. She listens to me talk. It's awesome. She kind of trails that end part off so that nobody can really hear it unless they were really paying attention.
So Clara does a listen check. Got it.
Clara's always listening. So I'm actually, maybe Octminos might know, but I'm actually going to be asking him a couple questions. I was hoping... Never mind.
Hoping what?
There's a few questions I'd have to ask of him that I've heard of lately. A couple things I need to ask him almost in private, but... I mean, I guess it's not as important.
Okay. Seems very vague and unforthcoming. If there's anything that we could help you with, let us know.
I don't think it'd be anything you guys might know. I've heard tale of my people is all, and I've been catching hints, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I'm pretty sure my people are out there somewhere. Potentially on... I forget, did you hear they were on an island, Marcus?
Yes and no. You were told, I think by the lion, otherwise by someone that the lion is on an island with animal kin.
Yeah.
Or the more specific wording was probably people like you.
Can I do a sense motive why Avina seems to be avoiding my questioning?
Avoiding
I
which
wouldn't
question?
see why. She's not really avoiding the question. She is answering truthfully.
What did you ask, Demois?
I asked him what he was here about. He ranted off about something completely different than what he actually was there about. This is not character knowledge, but this is personal knowledge. By seeing that he's going off the beaten path and kind of going on about like his people and stuff like that. I was
Well, she's
wondering
there
if I
about
might
that, so.
sense some sort of like misinformation.
He could be there for more than one reason.
Yeah,
Right,
sure.
she might be there for more than one reason. I mean, if you want to see if there's some other reason, I suppose. But
Okay,
otherwise, I don't really see a reason your character would be doubting Avina.
Okay, it just seemed like
After all I've
very,
just seen.
he's being very vague, and kind of I mean, she was being kind of vague and kind of hiding stuff. That's the reason I questioned that. But it's fine.
Well, before you can even do it, though, while the four of you are standing there, Octominos comes down the stairs and goes, Avina, what can I help you out with?
Oh, hi, Ethnos. I was actually wanting to see you about a couple of things, and I know I have my bestest buddy, the person I grew up with, who's a mage, but I figure I've seen you do some really impressive stuff, and I have a few questions to ask him.
Okay, what about the rest of you?
We heard tell of a magical ruin that is about, and we was curious if there was any information. We weren't here to ask you directly, but while you're here, if you knew any information about it, it sure would help us.
Of magical ruins. Well, Arim, Tucson, Samael, Avina. As you know, the world is old. There are old places. There is most definitely ruins with magical items, or spells that were deemed a little bit unnecessary for the current world. But do you really want to go inside of one? Is this what you really want? If so, I have a job for you, and one of them is near it. I will warn you, the ancient ruins aren't quite what you think. They're not just a stone square inside of the ground.
But I like stone squares inside the ground. They're fun. Square. Out of character. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Well, I will turn towards Noah and Arim and say, what do you guys think?
I mean, if worse comes to worse, we can run. But if we get to do a job, then maybe explore a magical place. Sounds interesting.
Very open. We were more so interested in the rumored ruin thing, so I don't see any reason why not. I guess we could wait for the rest of our group to go forth, if you don't mind.
Of course. Well, first off, the mission that I was told was of grave importance for all of you by, well, my favorite person in the whole world, good old Gnome. You can tell he means it almost sarcastically. And he turns over to Clara and goes, Clara, can you please hand me the instructions on how to get to the village of Ortuk? She rummages through a couple of pieces of parchment, eventually pulls out one, hands it to him. And then he goes, and would you please hand me the directions to the ruined temple of Vargala.
Your
Lark,
Mongol.
honk, honk.
Vargala. With a space in between the Var and the Gala. Because why not? Even though that's not how you pronounce it, whatever. Random name generator. She rummages through, hands him another one. He holds them. He says something that you can't quite hear. The two of them fuse together into one, and he holds it out to you. As soon as you complete your mission in Ortuk, it will show you the directions to the temple.
Well, thank you. We will take care of this as soon as possible.
It's Gnome. so expect some sort of gnomish magical technology bullshit.
We'll definitely keep an eye out and report back to you.
Or maybe vampires. He just kind of smiles to himself, starts to walk away, stops, and looks back at Avina. Oh yeah, you had questions.
Yeah. Clara was telling me that there is a mage tower who might be able to help too, but I figure since you were here, I've ordered a mallet, a wooden mallet from a blacksmith. It's going to be made of a specialty wood, but I know that's probably not going to help it last longer. I'm wondering if there's anything magical that would help the mallet last.
Sure there is. There's plenty of ways to make it last. Doesn't mean I'm gonna help you with any of them, but it exists.
True, which I could ask the mage tower, or maybe if you need any, like, errands done, hopefully to help out with that. I mean, I don't expect it of you. You've been more than hospitable to all of us here.
There is something I think you would like to do, but I don't think you're quite ready to do it yet.
Does it have anything to do with the island of Animal King people?
No, it does not. Technically, sort of, but no. It would be reactivating and allowing you to be able to use the transitive mirrors that allow you to sort of use, we'll call it teleportation, but with mirrors. Exciting, right? The issue is, you're definitely not strong enough to go inside of the transitive plane. You'll die.
I see.
And before you ask, why don't you go in there? Because it's not my job.
I wasn't going to ask that. That's understandable. That's more than enough information.
Did you have another, as he says this, Perthros enters the door. He looks, what would you say, Lamb? Perturbed?
Pale and very, very uncomfortable.
He looks pale and uncomfortable. And he's moving almost like there's something under his skin.
You okay there, Perthros?
Just gonna turn to you. Just a minute. Turn to Akmenos. Would I be able to see you in your quarters in a few minutes once you're finished with them?
You see him stare at you for a minute. His eyes suddenly glow with a sort of goldenish glow out of the colored part of his eyes, whatever the fuck that's called, iris or whatever.
Iris.
All right. His
Iris?
eyes, his golden iris eyes suddenly glow for a second longer. They stop glowing. He goes, "Well, that's interesting. Sure, Perthros. If you are Perthros."
As far as I can tell, I am.
I see you've contracted magic herpes.
Yeah, I the clerics won't help me. I need a bit of a valent. Long story. I might have found that succubus.
I see you've contracted a form of magical dysentery.
He looks at the four of you. Was there anything else the four of you needed me for?
Not right now, but thank you, Almentos, for pointing us in the right direction. Oh, by the way, Perthros, once you get done, we have a quest, that we, need to work towards. Looking for words.
I kinda left in the middle of that being said.
Well, you're still technically there. He hasn't gone up the stairs yet with you. But
I'm just half paying attention.
Before Perthros can respond, roll me a will save.
I'm assuming you mean me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It would help if I had actually written that down. 21.
You are able to resist it, but you feel your arm slowly going upwards.
Towards what?
It's just going up if you want to resist it. Otherwise, if you want to allow the water elemental to do what he wants with your arm.
I mean, so long as it's not going for anyone's throat.
No, it doesn't look like it, and you're not.
Yeah,
in
no, I'm
arm's
not
reach.
too worried about it.
All right, as you kind of stop it for a second, and then relax your arm. Your arm goes up in a kind of puppeteered fashion almost, and you give him a thumbs up. And then you put it down and you look at Octominos, and he just smiles to himself and goes, "Let's go."
Okay. I imagine I'm speaking in a jumble of Aquan and Common, by the way.
Maybe on that okay part of it, yeah. Where you're like, okay, but as soon as you get done with that, you said an Aquan okay.
Yeah.
In that case, as the two of you go up the stairs, what about the four of you then?
I guess we need to find out where Zephyr went to.
He's gonna theft.
Zephyr's pickpocketing people. Pickpocketing.
I'm just making a joke. Anyway, again.
I think I'll stay here and wait for Perthros if you two want to look for Zephyr, and we can, once we get each other's partner, we can head back to the guild house and go from there.
Sounds good to me.
Kelp?
I don't have anything to say.
I mean, what do you want Arim to do?
I'm gonna go to the damn ruins.
Eventually, yes. But right now, while waiting for Perthros to return to you guys, did you wanna just hang out in the bar with Tucson, or did you want to go and look for Zephyr?
Bar.
Tate, what does Avina do?
Abby's gonna follow Arim.
So 3 to the bar, and then Samael's gonna go look for Zephyr.
Yep.
Seems so.
Alright, in that case, Lamb, you follow Octomenos upstairs. You guys get to his room, and then that sting feeling comes back as the Aquan walks out of your body. Literal, not figurative. Do you wish to say anything or no? Or do anything? I will take that as no. In that case, the Aquan...
And then I realized I was muted.
Oh.
I was saying I would, like, heave a bit of a sigh of relief knowing I wouldn't be crushed from the inside this very moment. But I mean, other than that, no.
Marcus, real quick side note, pizza side.
What?
Peter says
Says
hi.
hi.
Oh. Then I say hi back.
I heard pizza pie.
I did too.
Yeah.
I'm really confused.
I
That's
did
why
as
I was
well.
like, I don't know what you're saying, but okay. In that case,
If
then
your
hi,
order is
Peter.
pizza, I'll take it.
Okay, anyway, back to game. Octomenos looks at the Aquan. At the water elemental.
I mean, I don't think Aquan is technically wrong either.
Right, it's probably the same. And he goes, and you are? And the water elemental simply responds back in Aquan. Some garbage that is his name that would have no translation.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't want to give it a name.
That's fine.
And Octomino smiles and goes, let me guess, you got summoned by our good old Mr. Perthros here.
Yeah. Damn wand.
Well, I guess since you're here, we'll have to try and find a way for you to get back. Out of game? Lamb?
Mm.
Wasn't this something your character wanted, was to meet an elemental?
It's one of the prerequisites for a potential prestige class to have an encounter with an elemental and resolve it peacefully.
Okay.
I can send it in chat if you want it.
I'd like that, yes.
Okay.
The water elemental goes, that would be appreciated. And then Octominos looks at Perthros and goes, did you say anything to him?
Yes? I mean, we were talking just fine. I can understand what he's saying well enough. Why? Sound like common to me.
I mean about...
Or is it closer to Elvish?
Aquan?
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's supposed to be a subset of Primordial, but I don't know. Not worried about it right now. Anyway, go on with what you were saying. But yeah, it's like it felt like I was just
Elvish.
speaking one of my regular languages.
Right, I
That's
think
what
it's
I'm going
Elvish. Anyway, he goes, no, I mean about the world.
I told him we were in the material plane. Other than that, I don't think so.
Good. Back in Aquan, then, he goes, where is the rest of your body? And, returning in Aquan, the water elemental responds with, outside controlling a lowly bat-like creature. Don't worry, it's dead. It shouldn't cause you issues once I return. This is when it dawns on you that the water elemental probably views itself as a bit of a higher
Higher-end
creature than everything here.
I mean, fuck, I did. So, I'm not surprised.
The Octonus goes, let's go. Samael, not Samael, Perthros,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
you focus on ice magic, water magic, cold magic. All of the
cold is
above?
probably the best way to put it. It's less focus on and more that's what tends to happen. I got some fun acid stuff, though. That also happened.
I see. In that case, he looks at the water elemental. Would you mind? And the water elemental responds with, oh, what the hell? I have nothing else to do other than technically lead a portion of the water plane. In the name of Metweo. And it walks back into you.
Do I need to be worried about this?
Roll me a fortitude save.
Perthros explodes from within. He is now part of the decorations in Achaidh's room. 14.
Roll another.
13.
And roll another.
22.
Hey, look at that. All three of them, no damage.
Yay!
You do feel like your body is gonna explode from an amount of water inside of it, and then the water just falls down from beneath your feet, and something the size of, like, a can of pop stands up from it, and Achaidh spins down and picks him up and goes, "That is it, Perthros. I need to go take care of my friend here."
Alright. Let me know if you need help with that. I mean, rather if you need something to be drained for that. Oh. Hold on. Okay.
Achaidh just smiles as the two of you then proceed to walk out. And you can just hear him say to himself, clearly loud enough that you would hear it, "I remember what it was like when it was to be weak."
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it.
Getting used to being weak?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so he proceeds down the stairs, walks past the party, holding what looks like an action figure made of water, and leaves outside the door. Perthros is there for all of you guys. Before we continue with the three of you and Perthros, Demois, where do you try to find Zephyr?
I guess I will start in the shopping district, and then go out from there. See if anyone ask if anyone has seen
Zephyr?
Zephyr's Warforged, right?
Yep.
Okay, had anyone seen like a I guess rock-like person?
The guy made of metal, stone, and rock?
Yeah,
Or metal,
basically.
stone, and wood?
Yeah.
I don't think he has any exposed skin, so they wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
I think he does wear a cloak.
Of course he
And
doesn't
a
have any
wood mask.
Skin. It's a
A
cloak.
cloak and a wooden eye mask and a bandana across my mouth.
Well, I'll get that description then. But,
In that case,
so just
while
say-
you're walking around there, Zephyr, what are you doing? You go through the gates. There are guards there, and you enter into this very nice compared to the rest of it part of town. The buildings are large and pristine. The ground is all... If it wasn't meant to have a specific spot for grass and flowers and so forth, it's a white paved stone. There is trim on the buildings that you assume might be gold, otherwise they are just very, very nice looking trim. That looks gold, but still.
I'm just gonna kind of see where people in this area tend to hang out, and see if I can find like maybe some gossiping ladies that I can listen out on.
All you really see inside of this area is guards or people with paperwork going pretty much to specific buildings. If you had to assume, the outside buildings, the two square ones if you look at the map, might be some sort of housing. The circular ones might be some sort of housing. And then the inner big complex built of 4 buildings with a what you can't see but a courtyard with a central building does not appear to be housing. It appears to be more like a business. Although you don't think this is where they live. This might be, if anything, where people of a higher stature come to do their business, and if they are going to stay here in the city, say they're from the human city, they stay here. They don't live among the rabble, so to say.
Okay.
As far as, like, ladies just standing around gossiping, think business, almost, like, no one is really out and about. You might see one guy sitting down at a park bench near a little plot of flowers, and he's just sipping some tea, but that's about it.